It's day 24 of the Walk Off the Weight series, and today I've got a great 1 mile walk with standing abs. No equipment needed, so let's go. All right, killer bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving, and you know that means we're gonna get started with some arm circles with high knees. And I almost warned you before we started that I knew I was gonna groan on that first one. You guys, I have been sitting at my desk all day, and this feels so amazing. Hello, welcome to the workout. I'm Paula B, and I've been sitting at my desk all day. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and around here, you guys, we are walking off the weight this January, and I am... I was going to tell you I'm excited about today. You know I am. I'm excited about every day. Today, actually, I'm particularly, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of thinking. So I've got some really fun exercises for us that are going to require us to use our brain as well as our body. What we are doing, I've got the handy dandy gym boss here, set for intervals of 1 minute. And I want you to really kind of think about that right up front. So the first minute of all of our triplets, we're working in triplets today. The first minute is walking, straight up walking. You can take it at whatever pace feels good. At some point in the workout, it's probably going to feel like the gentle part of the workout. The second minute, we're going to be doing a low impact cardio move. There's absolutely no jumping. There's no transitions to the ground. It's going to be relatively simple stuff. Let's go ahead and do some arm crosses with booty kickers. I intentionally chose exercises that I personally think will still feel moderate even with the long interval. But I'm going to tell you right now, because there is no rest, really be thinking about your heart rate. Really be thinking about your effort during these long intervals. And then the third part of our triplet is standing abs. Whoop, whoop. And that's the part I'm really excited about. I have some super fun, just right amount of challenging standing abs workout today, because I know that we all really, I know that I've sold you on how important it is to work out and work on your core strength, but I know that we also all really want to have very strong abdominal muscles / visible abs at some point, right? I know. And I will tell you in no uncertain terms that yes, you can create the kind of muscle tone you are looking for without getting down on the ground for a single crunch. My friends, let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to my home. Stretching out, feeling ready for it. I already feel a little bit warmed up. I'm very excited about that. You know, I've been meaning to tell you, if you ever feel like you're not quite warmed up, you can do an extended warm-up. I try to make these long enough that we're really ready for the work, and try and make the work moderate enough that it's not something you have to be completely 100% warmed for, but you can always, always, always make every part of the workout work for you. Let's go ahead and start walking. Yes, let's start walking. Okay, so it's gonna be one of those days where maybe it just takes me a minute, but hopefully not a whole minute. And this is what I want you to know about some of these exercises, again, because we're going to be using our brain and our body and a little bit of balance and a little bit of core work and a lot of abdominal strength and all that kind of stuff. If you can't follow along or find yourself kind of struggling with it, just come on back to walking. Walking really is the main point of what we're doing today. It really is why we are here this month. We're getting lots of walking practice on this cold, cold winter, and we're doing some other wonderful things for our health and fitness in addition to that. So what we're going to do is something I'm calling low swinging heel digs. We did these a little while ago in a little 10-second burst, and so I'm really curious what it's going to feel like when we do a whole minute of it. Low swinging just means that your hands are going to go from side to side, not over your head, but swinging low. They're going to come up pretty high when they're out to the side. And then we're going to do a heel dig while we're doing that. Okay, so this requires a little bit of rhythm, which is not necessarily my strong point, and a little bit of balance. Also not always my strong point, but this is something that we can really kind of get into. Now you'll notice, because we have our core pulled in, because you had your core pulled in, right? Of course you did. So you'll notice that when we are doing this transition from both feet on the ground to 1 foot on the ground, and we're just ever so slightly off balance, that we're already kind of warming up our abs. When it beeps again, we're going to do something much slower and more controlled. We're doing a standing abs exercise that I call twisting Ys. That means is that we're going to have our feet close together, and we're going to have our hands up and out to the side a little bit, as though we are forming the letter Y. And then we're going to take one hand and we're going to twist around our body and reach wherever we can. It's meant to be a little bit of a crunch, a lot of twist, and we're working in all of our twisting planes of motion. So reach your right hand, for example, down around your left thigh, hip, knee, whatever you can get to. Now, I'm not bending fully over. If I were to completely bend over or get into a complete squat, I could probably get a whole lot lower. I'm squeezing just enough that it's a crunch and twisting, just enough that we're feeling all of those muscles right around our middle. Now, when it beeps again, of course, we're going to go right back to walking. That is what I consider not really the rest, but it is like the mentally resting part of our workout today. And I think I forgot to tell you the most exciting part, you guys. There's no repeating of the exercises. So if there is something that you don't love and it's going to be kind of rough to get yourself through an entire minute of it, just know that it's only that 1 minute. And honestly, I know I say this a lot more about shorter intervals, but really, you can do anything for 1 minute. And here we go back to walking. And now we never have to do twisting Ys again. I mean, at least not in this workout. So you guys, when it beeps again, we're going to be doing wide open side kicks. That's the one where we have our hands flinging open right about chest height, and we're kicking out to the side 1 foot at a time. Here's what I wanted to tell you about today, really kind of focusing on walking. I know that lots of us start our weight loss journey through walking. I did. That's where I got started on I'm going to call it my exercise journey. I had exercised kind of sporadically before that. Like when I was younger, sometimes I was fit, sometimes I was less fit. Sometimes I was going to the gym, sometimes I was not going to the gym. Sometimes I was trying to work out at home, sometimes I was definitely not trying to work out at home. But right before I really got into fitness, I was very frustrated with my weight. I was frustrated with a lot of things in my life, frankly. And so I started walking. So here we go with wide open side kicks. Hands are coming out to the side, staying at chest level the whole time. This is the difficulty of this exercise. While we kick out to one side and the other, you'll notice because your core is pulled in, of course, that we're working a little bit on balance, a little bit on core strength, warming up those abs for our next exercise, which is something I'm calling a 3-point crunch. We're going to have our hands on our shoulders, and what we're going to do is going to bring both elbows down to one rising high knee. Those are the 3 points, both of your elbows and one of your knees meeting in the middle in a nice big crunch. So I had been walking for about 9 months before I saw anything. I got absolutely no results. I didn't know what I was doing. I was walking the same distance, the same pace, the same everything every single day, and I made absolutely no other changes in my life whatsoever. So from my perspective now as a fitness trainer, I totally understand. So here we go with the 3-point crunch. Both elbows coming down to one high knee. Now, do I care if you touch your elbows to your knee? Absolutely not. I never care about that. What I care about is the work that you're doing. Really thinking crunch, crunch, crunch in the middle, and then open it back up. Crunch, crunch, crunch in the middle, and open it back up. We're thinking about holding in your core for the balance part and squeezing your abdominal muscles, which is how we train them, for the crunch part. Of course, when it beeps again, we're coming back to walking. So the thing that changed for me after 9 months of walking was my frustration level. It kept climbing because I really, really felt that exercising should be garnering me some kinds of results. Now, looking back, because hindsight, of course, is always 20/20, I notice that I actually did gain a lot of fitness. I just wasn't looking for fitness. I didn't care about fitness at the time. I wasn't looking to get fitter. I was just looking to lose weight. So the results that I was looking for didn't show up at all. Here we come back to walking. Awesome job. So what changed for me was when I finally changed my eating. That, as we have talked about in the 5-0 method, the video that I point you to every single day, in case you haven't watched it yet, it'll be at the end of this video too, the 5 things that we do every day. We eat the right number of calories every single day. We drink the right amount of water every single day. We get enough sleep every single day. We do the moderate exercise every single day, and we manage our mindset every single day. So when I was walking alone, and I was literally walking alone, but when I was only walking, I wasn't doing the other 4 things. I was letting my mind wander and be frustrated by the lack of results. I can almost guarantee, because it really has been the story of my life, that I wasn't drinking enough water. And by the way, when it beeps again, we're doing middle skips. Hands are going up and down just right in front of us while the opposite knee comes up at the same time. It is a skipping motion, and you can get a little bit of bounce to it if you'd like to, but you don't have to. There's never any jumping in these workouts because we don't have to jump to get fit and exercise moderately and lose weight, because we're eating the right number of calories, my friends. The calories is really, truly the thing that made the difference. And the thing that was really interesting about that, when it beeps again, we're doing side bends. We're going to have our feet about hip width apart. We're going to bend to the side only as far as your spine can take you. This is the one where we keep our hips really, really, really sturdy and stable right underneath us the entire time. Small motion, big results, my friends. So when I finally decided that I really, really needed to change what I was eating and figure out what I needed to do to really lose weight, honestly, it changed everything. And the other thing that I did right around that time was I changed from walking to running. So here we go with side bends. And here's the thing about running. I know lots of people think that either walking or running is a great way to lose weight because you are burning so many calories. And they are good for you for lots of reasons. Both walking and running do burn calories, absolutely. But in and of themselves, this notion that we have of, 10,000 steps a day being so healthy and so good for you and the way to lose weight, honestly, it's not the thing that's going to really get you where you want to go. Now, walking in and of itself, with our 2,000 steps today and approximately somewhere between, honestly, we've hit between 1,000 and 2,000 steps every day of this month, and will continue to. It is a walking-focused, cardio-heavy kind of program with plenty of strength thrown into. But this kind of work prepares your heart and lungs to be very healthy. It prepares your body, and here we come back to walking, it prepares your body to be really healthy. The calorie burning, it's nice, it's a bonus, but it's not really why we do a step count. And honestly, it's why a step count is not one of the 5 steps that I have for you in the 5-0 method. Steps in and of themselves don't really get you where you want to go. I say that because metaphorically, here we are. I'm personally just walking in one place. I'm not going anywhere with this. Except, oh my gosh, coming up next, we're going to do front punch, high knees. We are getting so many health benefits from this foundational work where we're getting your heart and lungs ready to do more exercise in the future. Because I know you know, but I'm going to tell you, when you're done losing weight, you're still going to exercise. Here we go with the front punch, high knee. You're front punching and raising a high knee. That's why I didn't explain it any more than that, because it's exactly what it sounds like. You'll notice, because you need to pull in your core, you need to be thinking about where your belly button is, right next to your spine if you can help it, while we're standing on one foot, working on a little bit of balance, warming up those abs, because coming up next, we're going to do slow twists. So we're going to have our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, and we're going to hold our hands directly out in front of us. Like put your palms together and your arms straight out in front of you. We're going to take a nice deep twist to the side while standing upright. This is not a crunch, it is a strict twist. You will find that this is deceptively simple, like so many of our exercises. There's not a lot of movement to it, but because we're working those abdominal muscles right in the middle, you'll get a lot of squeeze, a lot of crunch, a lot of toning for a little bit of movement. So feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, hands directly in front of you. We're going to twist, twist, twist. And then when you think you've twisted far enough, let's see. Oh, if you could twist a little bit more. Now your hips are staying directly in front of you, pointing forward the entire time. This is about, oh my gosh, this is about your ability to twist. This is your abdominals right there in the front and your obliques on the side. Those muscles, that make up your girdle. And you hear me grunting. You guys, make sure that your knees are soft but strong. If you are locking your knees right now after we've got our heart rate up from our walking and other exercises, oh, doggies, you could cut off circulation and faint, and don't faint. Blossom, aren't you gonna stay with us? Oh, okay. Blossom got all done listening to me talk. I know, it gets boring sometimes, but that's all right. I'm gonna continue to tell you my story. You guys, when it beeps again, of course, we're going back to walking, really thinking about keeping those hip bones pointed forward. Oh, golly, okay. Well, now we get to think about walking, thank goodness. Because walking is a beautiful, functional, foundational exercise. I know sometimes, if you've been around for a while, you may have heard me, I'm gonna say ranting, because I do have a lot to say about this thing that we do with the 10,000 steps. 10,000 steps is wildly unnecessary for weight loss. It really, really is. It's an arbitrary number. It's something that was made up by fitness trackers so that you had something to aim for. And that's nice as far as it goes, but it is also not the driver of weight loss. It is excellent for your health, but it is not the thing that's gonna make you lose weight. When it beeps again, you guys, oh my gosh. Okay, here's the one I'm really gonna have to think about. We're doing reverse ding-dongs. So you know when we do ding-dongs, our hands go out to one side, they're swinging low, again, not going over your head because they're not overhead, but as they swing out to that one side, that foot is the one that kicks out. We're doing, oh my gosh, the opposite today. So the opposite foot is kicking out while our hands are swinging, and I can't really get this one rocking as much as I normally do, but oh my gosh, do you feel that when you pull in your core? Do you feel that in your abs? Oh, that's some good stuff, my friends. Really thinking, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those abs. It's cardio, but boy, oh boy, are we toning and working our core strength and getting a little bit of booty work here is actually where I feel it, in that leg that's kicking out to the side. When it beeps again, we're going to do, oh my gosh, we're gonna do compass points. Okay, so we're gonna have our feet about hip width apart. And what that is, honestly, it's side bends that includes both a forward bend and a back bend. Don't ever worry when I say back bend. I'm only talking about getting as far as you can get. But we're gonna go the 4 points of the compass. So we're gonna bend forward and really use our abs to pull us forward and pull us back up. Then we're gonna bend to the side. So let's go ahead and start with that front. So feet about hip width apart. We're gonna bend forward without letting your hips push back. That's weird, right? I'm so used to telling you to push your hips back. But this is only where your spine can get you, over to the side, to the back. For me, that's like, a couple of inches. You can see how tiny that is. You could still see my whole face. We're going to we're going to bend to the side. And then we're bending forward. Keep your hips tucked underneath you. Do you feel that crunch? Ordinarily, when we bend forward, I tell you to push your hips back. That's a deadlift move. Not today. This is compass points. We're only using our abs, abs, abs. Whew, even when we're bending back, did you notice that? If you're squeezing from your abs, that's where your power is coming from. Curling forward by squeezing. Whew, golly. Bending to the side, bending to the back, making sure that your hips are staying right underneath you when you bend back as well. Don't let your hips jut forward either. Oh my gosh, and right back to walking. Okay, I knew that one was gonna be a challenge. I don't do that exercise very often. I can only think of maybe 1 or 2 other times that I've ever done that exercise, and I really like it. It's gonna show up again. It'll show up again sometime this year. All right, you guys, this is our last triplet of exercises. This is so exciting. When it beeps again, this is what I consider to be the most difficult cardio that we're doing. So I'm gonna tell you right now, we have our hands up for almost the whole minute, so feel free to keep this movement a little bit smaller. We're doing double knees. So your hands are gonna be up, or medium up, and we're gonna bring up one high knee to the side 2 times in a row on one side, and then 2 times in a row on the other side. It's a relatively simple move, and I tend to do this one in shorter intervals just because there is a lot of overhead. Knowing today that we were really focusing on our abdominal area, I wanted to keep our hands a little bit lower so that we could really focus on squeezing in. Here we go with double knees, and not think so much about, oh my gosh, my shoulders are aching because my hands are above my head the entire time. So pick a pace that feels good for you. With hands up, I'm already noticing that my heart rate has come up even in this little bit. So I'm going to keep my hands a little bit lower, making sure that moderate for you is moderate for you the entire time. And oh yes, did you notice, because you're pulling in your core, that we're getting a little bit of that ab warm up when it beeps again. Also, I do consider this pretty much the toughest of our standing abs exercises. We're doing a semi-squatted crossbody, elbow to knee. Now I say that really specifically, elbow to knee, because we're crunching forward into it. Rather than bringing our knee up, we're bringing our elbow, I mean really, are we going down to our knee? No, we're going as low as we can across our body. So we're getting a crunch and a crossbody twist on this one. So we're gonna have our feet, I think, a little bit wider than hip width apart, feels a little bit more comfortable. Hands on your shoulders here, we're gonna semi-squat, and you're gonna bring your right elbow towards your left knee, and then go ahead and stand up in between. If you don't want to squat, you are absolutely welcome to just bring your elbow to whatever part of your body you can come close to. Is that your hip, your thigh, whatever it is. Wherever you are with this exercise is so good, oh my gosh, and so good for you, because this is a big squeeze on those big abdominal muscles, no matter how much of a squat or a squeeze or a twist or anything you're getting. Now you guys, when it beeps again, we're done. But you know what? I know you know what. We're not finished. I am gonna make us do some balance today. This has been we've done plenty of balance work, but we haven't done plenty of balance work because I got one final thing for us. When it beeps, we're going directly into it. We're not gonna walk again. We're going directly into star balance. And star balance is not what it sounds like. You're gonna have your hands up. We're gonna tip to one side wherever you can recover from fully. So you could probably tip over a lot further if you could fall out of it, but I don't want you to fall out of it. Find what feels like balance for you in this lateral motion. For me, the first couple of them, I don't want to go over too far because I know that I will fall out of them. So I'm just going to find, and then I'm going to go a little bit deeper, and then I'm going to recover from it. Oop, and then I'm going to fall out of it a little bit. Help yourself to whatever feels like balance for you, whatever feels moderate for you, whatever feels best for you. Maybe that's full on hanging onto the wall or a couch or a chair. Maybe that's getting your foot 1 inch off the ground. Wherever you are with your balance is where you are right now, and that's a perfect place to be. My friends, we don't get better at things we don't practice, and when we practice, we do get better. Whatever you are doing right now is practice, and we're finished with it. That was awesome, you guys. Let's go ahead and do some tappers here. This is going to turn off. Now I'm really going to sigh doing this beautiful arm circles. Oh my gosh. Didn't that feel amazing? I feel really good now. I personally love this kind of work where we do a little bit fast, a little bit medium, and then a little bit slow. It keeps the whole day moderate enough that we can come back and do something like this tomorrow, because we are indeed going to come back and do something like this tomorrow. You guys, oh my gosh, tomorrow is day 25. That's like really getting up there with the week. That's very exciting stuff. Let's go ahead and do some arm openers. And some arm closers with a big hug and a pat on your sweaty back. What a fabulous job you did today. You know, of course, that I'm going to point you in the direction of that video that I've been talking about like the whole time, the 5-0 method, where we learn all 5 steps to losing weight at age 50 and beyond. It's simple stuff, you guys, and it takes daily practice. I've also, of course, got a nice extended cool down for you with a little bit more walking. I know you like those steps. Even if it doesn't drive weight loss, it just feels good. And I totally understand that. Thank you so much for working out with me, my friends. Make sure you click the subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you tomorrow.